Do you remember the first time you heard the roar of a motorcycle approaching from a distance? That moment when your heart started racing and you wished you could twist the throttle yourself? The 1980s were the decade that created moments like that. It was an era when motorcycle manufacturers dared to push boundaries, experimenting with turbochargers, electronic fuel injection, lightweight aluminum frames, and aerodynamic designs that looked like they came straight out of a science fiction movie. Every bike of this era had its own unique personality. Some were precise and refined, others were raw and rebellious. They weren't just fast. They awakened something deep inside you. The smell of unburned fuel, the scream of engines at redline, and the vibrations that reminded you what it meant to be alive. Today, I invite you to step back into that golden age. Let's count down 15 of the fastest and most unforgettable motorcycles of the 1980s. Machines that still make the hearts of speed lovers race every time their names are mentioned. 1982 Harley-Davidson FXR. In 1982, Harley-Davidson decided to build something unlike anything they had done before. The FXR was born as the company's answer to the wave of Japanese sport bikes threatening the American cruiser market. This wasn't just another good-looking Harley, it was a turning point in engineering. The FXR used the Evolution 1340 cubic centimeter V-twin engine, producing around 70 horsepower, enough to hit 120 miles per hour and sprint from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 4.7 seconds. Impressive numbers for an early 80s cruiser. But what truly made the FXR special was its revolutionary frame with rubber-mounted engine, dramatically reducing vibration. This meant riders could enjoy long trips without numb hands or aching backs like on many earlier Harleys. Its fine-tuned suspension gave it more precise handling, making the FXR one of the rare Harleys you could confidently lean into a corner. Under the guidance of engineer Eric Buell, the FXR became a symbol of Harley's redefinition. Powerful, yet refined, smooth, yet ready to explode when you twist the throttle. This was the bike that convinced many loyal riders Harley could be both traditional and modern. 1983 Honda V65 Magna. The Honda V65 Magna was the cruiser that forced the motorcycle world to rethink what speed really meant. Instead of focusing solely on comfort and laid-back riding, the Magna delivered performance that could embarrass many sport bikes of its era. Its liquid-cooled 1,098 cubic centimeters V4 engine produced 116 horsepower, a huge figure for the early 1980s. This power propelled the Magna from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 3.2 seconds and gave it a top speed of around 138 miles per hour, making it one of the fastest cruisers ever built at the time. Honda equipped the Magna with a 5-speed transmission featuring overdrive, a low-maintenance shaft drive, anti-dive front forks, and air-adjustable rear suspension. Together, these components provided a smooth and stable ride, even at high speeds. The V65 Magna wasn't just about raw speed, it was also about comfort, with a plush saddle and well-balanced ergonomics. This was the cruiser for riders who wanted to enjoy relaxed highway cruising while still having brutal acceleration at their command. 1983 BMW K100 RS. Nicknamed the Flying Brick, the BMW K100 RS marked a turning point for BMW's sport touring lineup. It was the company's first production motorcycle to use a longitudinally mounted, liquid-cooled 987 cubic centimeter inline-4 engine, producing around 90 horsepower. Enough for a top speed near 135 miles per hour and a 0 to 60 miles per hour time of roughly 4.1 seconds. What made the K100 RS special was BMW's engineering finesse. It featured Bosch LE Jetronic fuel injection, delivering smoother throttle response and better efficiency compared to carbureted rivals. The frame design, paired with BMW's iconic mono-lever rear suspension, provided excellent stability, especially on high-speed highway runs. Its aerodynamic fairing wasn't just for looks. It offered real wind protection, allowing riders to stay comfortable over long distances. Dual front disc brakes delivered confident stopping power, making the bike as safe as it was fast. The K100 RS struck a perfect balance, powerful enough to excite sport-minded riders, yet refined enough to cover hundreds of miles in comfort. It opened a new chapter for BMW and became the go-to machine for riders seeking a durable, precise, and premium sport touring experience. 1980 Suzuki GS1100E. The Suzuki GS1100E was the superbike that kicked off Suzuki's era of dominance on both the streets and in magazine comparison tests. Powered by an air-cooled 1,074 cubic centimeter inline-4 engine, producing roughly 108 horsepower, the GS1100E could hit a top speed of around 136 miles per hour and sprint from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 3.9 seconds, making it one of the fastest bikes of its day. What set the GS1100E apart was its ability to balance brute power with rider control. Suzuki equipped it with air-assisted front forks and adjustable rear shocks, allowing riders to fine-tune the suspension for different riding conditions. Paired with dual front disc brakes, the GS1100E inspired confidence even at high speeds. Its reputation went far beyond the street. The GS1100E was named Superbike of the Year by Cycle World magazine 3 years in a row, 1981 to 1983, a rare achievement in the motorcycle world. 1981 Suzuki GSX1100 Katana. Developed by Target Design in Germany, the Katana featured a radical new look: a sharply angled nose, elongated fuel tank, and tail section shaped like a sword blade, perfectly fitting its name. Underneath its bold exterior was a 1,074 cubic centimeter inline-4 engine producing 111 horsepower. This setup gave the bike a top speed of around 140 miles per hour and a 0 to 60 miles per hour time of about 3.9 seconds, placing it among the fastest bikes of the early 1980s. Suzuki also equipped it with anti-dive front suspension and dual front disc brakes, ensuring stability and control at high speeds. Upon release, the Katana polarized opinions. Some thought the design was too radical, while others hailed it as a futuristic masterpiece. Over time, the Katana earned cult status, becoming a prized collectible for enthusiasts worldwide. 1984 Kawasaki GPZ900 Turbo. The Kawasaki GPZ900 Turbo was hailed as the fastest turbo bike of its era, sparking a short-lived but thrilling chapter in motorcycle history. Kawasaki didn't simply bolt a turbo onto an existing bike. They re-engineered the engine, intake system, and key components to fully exploit the power boost. Its 738 cubic centimeters inline-4 engine was fitted with a Hitachi turbocharger mounted close to the exhaust headers to minimize lag, along with low-compression pistons and a special oil pump. The result was 112 horsepower, enough for a top speed of around 140 miles per hour and a 0 to 60 miles per hour time of just 3.9 seconds, numbers that put it on par with much larger motorcycles. The GPZ750 Turbo featured air-assisted front forks with anti-dive technology and Kawasaki's Unitrack rear monoshock, giving the bike remarkable high-speed stability. Riders praised its strong mid-range power and street-friendly nature, making it suitable for both commuting and weekend racing. 1987. Honda CBR600F. The Honda CBR600F is widely regarded as the model that launched the modern middleweight sport bike segment. At a time when sport bikes were often either too expensive or too unforgiving for everyday riders, the CBR600F offered near-perfect balance. Fast enough to thrill weekend races, yet approachable and comfortable for daily use. Power came from a 598 cubic centimeter inline-4 engine producing about 85 horsepower. Combined with its lightweight chassis and aerodynamic full fairing, the CBR600F could reach a top speed of roughly 144 miles per hour and sprint from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3.6 seconds. Excellent performance for a 600cc bike of its day. Honda equipped it with a full fairing for wind protection, adjustable suspension, and dual front disc brakes, giving riders precise control and safety at high speeds. Its biggest advantage, however, was reliability. The CBR600F became known for being durable, easy to maintain, and cost-effective to own. This bike quickly became the go-to choice for riders seeking a true do-it-all sport bike, one that could handle weekday commutes just as well as spirited weekend rides or even track days. 1985. Suzuki GSXR750. The Suzuki GSXR750 was the game-changer that introduced the concept of the race replica, a street-legal motorcycle packed with genuine racing technology. Before its debut, most sport bikes were heavy and relatively tame. The GSXR750 broke that mold. It was light, fast, and felt like a race bike with headlights. Its heart was a 749 cubic centimeter air and oil-cooled inline-4 engine, producing 106 horsepower. Thanks to its revolutionary lightweight aluminum frame, a major leap from traditional steel, the bike had a dry weight of just about 392 pounds. This translated to blistering performance, a top speed around 145 miles per hour, and a 0 to 60 miles per hour time of only 3.6 seconds. Sport-tuned suspension, dual front disc brakes, and race-inspired aerodynamics gave the GSXR 750 razor-sharp handling and high-speed stability. Riders often describe the experience as piloting a full-on endurance racer down public roads. 1986. Ducati Paso 750. Designed by Massimo Mimo Tamburini, the Paso was the first Ducati to feature a fully enclosed fairing, giving it a smooth, aerodynamic silhouette that stood in stark contrast to the naked bikes that dominated the era. Power came from a 748 cubic centimeter air-cooled L-twin engine, producing 72 horsepower. This setup allowed the bike to reach a top speed of about 130 miles per hour and accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in around 4.5 seconds. Pirelli 16-inch tires, Brembo brakes, and a cleverly designed frame provided stiffness and excellent cornering stability. Not everything was perfect. The single Weber carburetor was notoriously temperamental, sometimes resulting in inconsistent throttle response. Yet this quirk only added to the Paso's character, making it memorable and signaling Ducati's evolution from a niche enthusiast brand to a global sport bike icon. 1980. Honda CBX1000. First introduced in 1979 and produced into the early 1980s, the Honda CBX1000 remains one of Honda's most iconic motorcycles. Its unmistakable centerpiece was the 1047 cubic centimeter inline-six engine with DOHC and 24 valves. This powerhouse produced 105 horsepower, allowing the CBX to reach a top speed of about 135 miles per hour and sprint from 0 to 60 miles per hour in roughly 4 seconds, staggering numbers for its time. That massive engine wasn't just about performance. It delivered a symphony-like exhaust note that riders still talk about today. The CBX featured a 5-speed transmission, air-adjustable suspension, and dual front disc brakes, giving riders confidence and stability at speed. Despite a dry weight close to 600 pounds, the CBX was surprisingly manageable, especially in its later sport touring iterations. It successfully combined brute force with smoothness and refinement in a way few bikes ever have. 1985. Yamaha Vmax. From the moment it debuted, the Vmax stunned the motorcycle world with its brutal acceleration and unprecedented power for a cruiser. At its heart was a 1,198 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled V4 engine producing around 145 horsepower, an extraordinary figure for the mid-1980s. This power propelled the Vmax from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 3 seconds and gave it a top speed of about 145 miles per hour. It featured a durable shaft drive, a 5-speed gearbox, and 40mm adjustable Kayaba front forks. While it wasn't designed for carving tight corners, the Vmax was the undisputed king of the drag strip, dominating straight-line runs for years. What made the Vmax legendary was the visceral experience it delivered. Twist the throttle and you'd feel a violent surge of power pushing you back in the seat. Its deep, resonant V4 soundtrack only heightened the sense of drama and excitement. Crowned Bike of the Year in its debut year, the Yamaha Vmax quickly became an icon and remains one of the most celebrated power cruisers of all time. 1987. Ducati 851. It was the first model to feature the Desmoquattro engine, a liquid-cooled 4-valve L-twin, displacing 851 cubic centimeters and producing about 105 horsepower at 9,000 revolutions per minute. This power gave the Ducati 851 a top speed of roughly 150 miles per hour and a 0 to 60 miles per hour time of just 3.5 seconds. Its biggest breakthrough was the use of electronic fuel injection, which provided crisp, consistent throttle response compared to traditional carburetors. The bike also came with Ducati's signature steel trellis frame, high-performance Brembo brakes, and Marzocchi suspension, delivering outstanding handling even at race pace. Early versions were criticized for their 16-inch wheels, which made handling a bit nervous, but later updates switched to 17-inch wheels for improved grip and stability. The 851 quickly proved its potential by racking up race wins and paving the way for the legendary Ducati 888 and 916. 1984. Kawasaki GPZ900R. It was Kawasaki's first motorcycle to feature a liquid-cooled 908 cubic centimeter inline-4 engine with dual overhead cams, producing 115 horsepower at 9,500 revolutions per minute. This gave the GPZ900R a top speed of about 151 miles per hour and a blistering 0 to 60 miles per hour time of just 3 seconds, making it the fastest production motorcycle in the world at the time. Its compact steel tube frame and low center of gravity provided agile handling, while its suspension setup and dual front disc brakes kept it composed at high speeds. The combination of power, technology, and control set a new benchmark for what a modern sport bike could be. Beyond its performance credentials, the GPZ900R became a pop culture icon when it starred alongside Tom Cruise in the 1986 film Top Gun, forever linking it with speed, freedom, and coolness. 1987, Honda VFR750R RC30. It was a homologation special, produced in limited numbers to qualify for the World Superbike Championship. Only around 3,000 units were made, making it a highly collectible machine even when new. Power came from a 748 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled V4, producing about 112 horsepower at 11,000 revolutions per minute. Exotic components like titanium connecting rods, gear-driven camshafts, and a slipper clutch allowed it to rev smoothly and safely. Combined with its lightweight chassis and fully adjustable Showa suspension, the RC30 could hit a top speed of roughly 154 miles per hour and do 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3.5 seconds. True race-spec performance. Another standout feature was its single-sided swing arm, designed for rapid wheel changes, a major advantage in endurance racing. The RC30 proved its worth quickly when Fred Merkel won the inaugural World Superbike Championship in 1988 aboard this very machine. 1987, Yamaha FZR1000. If one motorcycle could capture the spirit of speed in the 1980s, it would be the Yamaha FZR1000. This superbike introduced Yamaha's legendary Genesis 5-valve technology to a 989 cubic centimeter inline-4 engine, producing about 135 horsepower at 10,000 revolutions per minute. That kind of output pushed the FZR1000 to a top speed of roughly 160 miles per hour and a blistering 0 to 60 miles per hour time of just 2.9 seconds. Numbers few rivals could touch. What truly set the FZR1000 apart was not just its power, but its balance. Yamaha paired the engine with a lightweight aluminum delta box frame, delivering high-speed stability and razor-sharp cornering. Sport-tuned suspension and dual front disc brakes gave riders the confidence to fully exploit its performance, making it both thrilling and manageable. Its blend of speed, control, and forward-thinking engineering earned it the title Bike of the Decade from Cycle World. Looking back at this list of the 15 fastest motorcycles of the 1980s, we can see an era where manufacturers took risks, pushed boundaries, and created machines that became legends. From muscular cruisers to refined sport tourers and record-breaking superbikes, each bike tells a story of speed, innovation, and passion. Now I want to hear from you. Which one of these bikes would you want to ride if you could go back to the 1980s? Drop a comment below and share your thoughts, memories, or favorite model from the list. If this countdown reignited your love for speed, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you won't miss the next videos. We have many more two-wheeled legends to uncover, from forgotten classics to machines that changed motorcycling forever. See you on the next ride.